Well, sorry about that. We'll wait for a few people to get in here. Oh, I see somebody. Daniel, go. What I show you guys here are tried and true methods to do things. You know, stuff that I've done, materials that I use. I'm not gonna tell you something unless I absolutely 100% know that it works, and I do it on my airplanes all the time. Same as with the products that I use. I was just watching 3 of 7 project, and people are whining about him putting products in on his videos that he doesn't use. Well, I'm not going to do that. Anyway, this thing's in white. I shot all the white on it. It's got a couple of touch-ups we're going to sand on the flap. Probably as much white as I'm going to put on this thing. I'm just knocking down the overspray now. I thought that I would show you guys what it looks like. I mean, it looks like it belongs on there, not like it was an afterthought. I'm still waiting on my tape. I got to get my tape before I can start taping this thing off. Came out real nice. It's a nice job, you know, as nice as I've ever done. So after I get a coat of clear on this thing, you know, I'll clear over the top of this canopy and then sand all this frame into the clear, and then another coat of clear and sand it into the frame. Then I'll ink around the bottom of this, you know, the outline to look like the rubber seals that are on it. So are there any questions on how to do this? I mean, I've pretty much knocked it out for you. We got a nice, there's hardly any peel in this paint because I've sanded so much. And it's going to get sanded again. It'll get sanded with 1000 grit next before the yellow goes on. And the yellow is, I'm going to go ahead and do the checkerboards here. I'll try to explain this paint job. We're going to go with checkerboards on the leading edge. This will all be yellow, the fuselage, and it'll be yellow up to the edge of the checkerboard. Maybe I ought to do orange and then yellow. I don't know. And then the orange, and then the red will, it's red from the front into orange into yellow. And the yellow will transition about mid fuselage into white. So the back half of the airplane is going to be white. From about here back, the airplane will be white, and I'll put my lettering in the center there that I normally do. Of course, I don't know. This has got long spears for flaps. We might not do that. Well, it's kind of rough there. It's an 800. Now it's just about massaging this thing. I'm probably looking at another 2 weeks to finish this. Hard to believe, but I can't stand that yet. It's still too thick. This app part, this back here, came out real nice. I sanded all that and I shot that with another coat of paint. Real nice. We might hit a little bit more because it's kind of splotchy. But when you get to this state, this this coat of white was 1-2 ounce. That's it. What the hell was that fell down? What was that? Oh, propeller. Yep, got a rough spot there. We are in there. Thank you. Wait till you see it in person. We're getting out all the shinies and all the overspray and all that stuff. Oh, got a little thing right there. I need to fix a little dimple. Sando. Oh yeah, it'll be at Brodeck. Hopefully this is my plane for this year, depending on how it flies. I think it should be okay. It's got all the right numbers and stuff. Pretty straight except for that flap, and we'll get that straightened out before I fly. So what I'm doing here I'm going over this whole thing and I'm knocking off any of the rough spots, the overspray. If I could use another quart of paint on it, I could make it really nice. But you can't. Otherwise, you end up with a lumber wagon. Not quite dry enough to sand. I'm aggravating it. Aggravating the paint, as John used to say. Talked to Steve, and he's talking like he wants to come over and finish his airplane, but the streets are full of snow. At least to get that done. Yep, I think this being, I got to figure out how to do it. Gonna have to think about it. Should have these flaps finished up here, and let's see if I do. This is yellow, and it goes yellow up to there. Then this is orange, the red stripe. How am I going to do that? I'm going to have to sit down and draw it out. In order to stay around 60 ounces, I only got 4 more ounces to go in paint. I mean, I go 64, that'd be 8 ounces more. Or I could just say screw it and keep loading the paint on it. Man, I hate flying them big lumber wagons. I guess we'll just see. I'll just keep painting until it's right. And it weighs what it weighs. Anyway, I thought I'd bring you on and show you the Canopy. Let's go to this camera here, and we'll zoom it in. Come on. Mm. 36. 36 ounces. Now tell me that that doesn't look like it belongs there. No, I use some water in places. After you get the top coats on it, I mean, I can start using water now. I just don't like it because it's messy. Let's see, we got a little fingerprint in there or something. Nothing I can do about it now. Let's see. Yeah, it'll be all right. Now let me see. Let me see how thin this paint is. We got to check the paint. Oh yeah, it's still pretty thin. That is good. Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of paint on it, so we're in good shape. I'm waiting on that tape. I'm trying to figure out how much yellow I want to put on this thing. Go up like that with yellow, and this will all be yellow forward of this, including the canopy. And we'll have a red. We'll have a red top here. How am I going to do that? If I go straight here, leave this white. I go up like that with yellow. Checkerboard's on the leading edge. We'll go straight up the fillet area here because I'm going to ink this airplane. So we can have fillets in there. And then this is red. My scallop's red. Red on top. And then orange underneath. Coming back. And then orange. An orange stripe with red. Yep, that'll work. And these will be white. Okay. I kind of got a game plan. Kind of. This is 400. Okay, let's do this. Keep grinding on this and I can't get it out of it. I'm going to spend probably a day sanding on this all day, probably rest tonight and tomorrow sanding on it, getting it ready for the next color. And hopefully I get it ready. I'll have the tape. Not I'll have to go to Sherman-Williams and buy it. It's not Amazon's fault. It's a U.S. post office's. They ain't worth a shit. They said they tried to deliver my package, but the driveway wasn't accessible. Well, shit, I don't have a driveway. So I know they're BS, and it's because it's cold out. They stayed in the shop drinking coffee and eating donuts. If I don't get it tomorrow, I'm gonna raise hell. I'm pretty pleased with this airplane so far. I haven't finished one like this in a long, well, been since 07. That I put this much effort into a finish. That's good. That's just good. But we got 8 more days. 8 more days of the nightmare. I think we're going to add some more thinner. Make it 80% thinner. Link in the description to many of my finishing products. In a couple of weeks, I'll have my own Amazon store, and that way we won't have to do it in the comments. I'll just send you to the store, and yeah. Gonna be beautiful. Can't see what I'm doing. I don't want to dig it out, so better turn it to look at it. I have to wait for that. Wait till tomorrow to do that fillet right there. All right, well, I'm not going to bore you too long on this because this is what I'll be doing for the next 10 hours probably. Getting it ready for the yellow. So we'll do a half an hour tonight on this. This is my third video today. I'll come back tomorrow. Remember, tomorrow night is the hangout night. Now there was a volunteer to run the hangout on Friday night. Yet I have not heard a word back. So I think 2 hangouts a week is just too much. I know by the numbers it's too much. Let me get this some paint. Need to hit that with some sandpaper. Ooh. Take it easy there, big fella. Take it easy there, big fella. This detail sanding is what makes an outstanding model. I think once a week is fine for the hangout. And it's just fine, yeah. I think so too. They're whining because they want the after hours party. Well, hell, all you got to do is spend 10 years and $30,000 and a bunch of time and make your own website. when I first started this thing, I was wasting a bunch of time. I wouldn't get shit done. Now I've throttled it back. I'm getting a little done. Getting a little done. Let's do 40, 400, I mean. Gonna sand all this perfectly splat. Would you believe I have not had this airplane in the paint stand yet? It's going in the paint stand tomorrow. Sand everything real good. Give the last coat of white, which should be 2 to 4 ounces of white. Let it dry and then tape off for the yellow. The white only gets done back here. This is plenty good for base yellow. It doesn't need to be opaque. It just needs to be white. But this back here needs to be smooth and white. The nose is probably good enough. I think this is a good looking airplane. It's got a nice lines to it. Was going to be a jet, but it sure looked funny. Sure looked funny as a jet to me. Yeah, hell with it. Looked funny as a jet to me. You can hear it when it's rough. It's a little rough, but not bad. Nope, we got a rough spot here though. Got the case for aqua green right there. What I'm doing with this white is basically what Wendy does with his silver. I don't like silver. It has super poor adhesion properties. Meaning when you go to put the trim colors on, when you pick up the tape, it pulls the paint right up with it. And ain't nothing worse than the feeling of lifting paint off. You go, ah. Now you were asking about water. Well, we're going to use water right here. Thank you, Greg. Well, today's exercise was canopy installation. Well, for the last couple of days. Remember, this is the complete guide to finishing an airplane. And this is what it takes for front row finish is just an inordinate amount of sanding. Shine does not come from paint, it comes from sanding. And when you look at an airplane, at least when I look at an airplane, I can tell how much paint's on it. You want the most amount of shine with the least amount of paint. Like I can see that this paint is super thin. I got two spots that I'm tempted to put aqua green on. If I do it though, it's a big mess. If my buddy John was still alive, I'd take it over there and say, point out the spots that you think I ought to fix. One there and one there. Two little tiny specks. I just don't think it's... I think we can get it in the clear. Let's talk about this urethane business. Everybody's using urethane. It's great. It really shines. But to me, I know what it can do. It looks like you're lazy because it's on a 1/4 inch thick. If you got a big gash in the fuselage or something, and you spray a coat of urethane on it, one coat, let it dry, then block sand a little bit, spray another coat on there, big quarter inch deep. That gash will go away. It looks cheap. It looks like a plastic airplane. Kind of like a car. If you ever go look at old cars, look at the hot rods of the 50s. They were all hand rubbed lacquer. Beautiful. 20, 30 coats of hand rubbed lacquer. Just beautiful. Do they shine as good as urethane? No, but the look is different. A urethane finish you can see your face in with virtually no work. All you did is spray it on and sand it and hit it with a buffer and you're done. And it's heavy. Got a spot right here, could use some aqua green too, but well, I might as well just bite the bullet and put it on there or else it won't be happy. There, and there. Got to get it out of it. I got the fillets really good. I hope I don't have any pulling up here. That would be a disaster to get fillets bubbling. Which is possible. Doesn't feel like it. It is a nice thing about urethane, it won't lift the fillets because there's no shrink. All right. Does anybody have any questions on Canopy install? I don't know how much more in depth I can go than what I did. You look across at those posts in the bottom, you can't see any glue or superfill or none of that shit. That's because we did it right. Painted the bottom of the canopy on the outside. Then after adding everything, painted the outside side of the canopy so that the superfill was hidden. It's just a pain in the rear, that's all. Nothing hard about it. Just how much work do you want to do? I'd say I'm at least a month out yet on this airplane. At least a month, because I've got to work on the inside of the cowl yet. I'm gonna try to remove as much. I mean, I got quite a bit of it out of there, but I want to sand some more. I just got tired of woodworking and decided to go to finishing. Thank you, Gary. No, Charles isn't around the fire. He's south of there. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this evening. I'm kind of burnout today. I'm going to quit working on airplanes for the day. Made a lot of progress. And a lot more to go, though. So like, subscribe, share, and make sure you hit the notification bell so you get notified when I'm come on. And any of the products that I'm using, especially in the finishing, they're in the description. So go down there and pick up some tape or whatever you need. Go down there and pick that up. I'll see if I can get some razor blades and glue and stuff in there. And as soon as I get set up where I got verified orders, I'll be able to open a store so that on Amazon, so we won't have to have all those links. You just click one link and it'll all be there with the pictures and everything. So we'll see you tomorrow. Remember, tomorrow night is the hangout. So fair winds, tight lines. See you.